Hey, good evening, Chris. How you doing?
Hey Adil, I am well. I'm trying to figure out if I beat jet lag or not because I got back from Calgary to Germany last night and feels like flying is just all-nighters each way, not sleeping much on the plane. But I feel like, okay, it's just about midnight right now. I'm pretty tired, could probably go to bed. Or am I still on Calgary time and I'm not tired because it's 4 p.m. there?
So this is the
Not sure.
test that we were talking about because you flew east, so that should be no jet lag, right?
Going west is no jet lag, and
Oh my
east is
God,
supposed to
I'm
be
so
warm.
bad at this. Got it. So east is jet lag. Got it. Got it. So you know what's funny? I
Yeah,
met I met somebody who worked for WestJet who flies like 40 flights a year on my leg back from Japan, and he gave me some good jet lag advice, and I've been executing it this time around, and I think I did a way better job of fighting off jet lag. And I think everybody kind of knows it, but I'm just going to say it out loud. It's, just don't go to sleep and fight it off until your regular sleep time. And then you just got to fight it. No naps. Just fight it right the way through. Red Bulls.
I did that. I tried to do that yesterday, but like coming east, I like flew at 5, and then you land at like 10 in the morning. So it's a long day if you don't sleep any on the plane. You basically just pull an all-nighter.
Yeah.
So by 7, I think I crashed for no, at 4, I crashed for like half an hour. Then I slept for another 90 minutes, and then I slept my normal time. So we'll test it. We'll test it.
You know what?
But all good.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is season two, by the way. Um, Officially,
Why
this is season
again?
two.
Oh,
I don't. It just arbitrarily season two. I don't know. You just set seasons. There's no good rhyme or reason. I just set it at 15 episodes. It doesn't really have to be.
I guess
But
it makes
I
sense.
I did make. What did I do? What have I changed for this season two? Um, I made an agenda for our podcast today, which is weird.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm normally not
I
that
also,
prepared. Yeah, go on.
yeah, nothing. You go ahead.
So an agenda for the podcast today. I'll go over that in a sec. And then I also, in my background, I have a laundry cart that has stuff on it that's closer to the camera. So I can like be one of those people who have like stuff in the background, but like closer. So I got like a book. I got a book holder. So I'm looking forward to some book. Not books that I'll read probably. Mostly just the covers. What is? I still love what your background is. I still forget what's on your left shoulder there. Is it? It looks like a Cuban box. I don't know. Is it like
Oh, that's
cigar?
just a wine box.
Oh,
Holds 3 wine bottles.
it's beautiful. That wood is beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's like balsa. It's pretty sick. They serve no purpose, but now I have 3 of them. One of them is my monitor stand right now. It's a different one, but
Using a monitor stand as a wine box. Wait, how many wine boxes do you have in your house, Chris? Is there lots of things being carried by wine boxes?
nope, I just have 3, and 2 of them are decoration. They're kind of elegant. I don't know. They add like a little bit of a like a rustic charm to things.
I like nice wood. I like little pieces of nice wood.
Yeah,
Um,
and then
yeah.
yeah, I've got my EDC hat next to my face, sitting on my chair.
Oh yeah, it's
Kind
that's
of
right.
a kind of an interesting story with that hat. Number one, it always draws a little bit of attention. Like people, when you go partying or dancing, people ask, "What year did you go?" So it's like a mini conversation starter. It's like a if you know, you know kind of thing.
Totally.
Um, and then people recognize it because the pattern is cool. But you might see on it, I don't know if, wait, there's like a green bit there and a duck.
There's a
And
duck.
kind of like when you're raving, there's this concept where you can get sprouted, where people bring gifts and then they clip like a little plant sprig to your hat.
I've seen
And
that
so,
before. Oh, interesting. Plant sprig. Got
so I
it.
got
Got it. Got it. Yep.
a total stranger, friend of a friend, I guess. So not total stranger, like introduced stranger. And then after like 20 years of raving, I was sprouted for the first time, which is kind of cool.
You know what?
A nice gesture.
I
It's
gotta
a
say,
nice like
r
gesture.
raving is something I'm not like qualified to speak about, but I found that people give like those wristbands, and I was gifted a
Yeah, the
wristband once, and it just felt really nice. Felt really nice to get
yeah.
something that said something.
Yo, man, Taylor Swift fans totally stole that from us because like Taylor Swift fans do it, and they put like Taylor lyrics on the wristbands, and then they
Uh,
exchange wristbands. But like ravers have been doing that for like 30 years, man. So
totally, totally. I think I got my first wristband 10 years ago. I've never got another one since, but I still have it somewhere. I actually got it from
yeah,
you might know her. I think Queenie gave me my first raving wristband, and I didn't
makes
really didn't
sense.
understand what was going on at the time, to be honest. But it was fun.
It's honestly just like they take a long time to make, and it just takes effort. So like when you give it away, it's like a sign of just like, hey, I like you, or like it's just like a sign of affection, friendly or otherwise.
Mine
Mostly, it's just friendly.
mine said sweaty on it, and for obvious reasons. Um, because I
Did she make it just for
no, no, she had it. Obviously had like six choices to choose from, right? And she chose sweaty, I assume, because I'm a sweaty person in the club. That's just an obvious thing. I think I need to. I've gotten better at it with headbands and hats and methods of avoiding the sweatiness. But I think I just rave at a faster BPM than most people. You know, I think that's why. But I'm not
you're
sure.
raving at a faster BPM? So that would mean if everyone's dancing to the beat, you're somehow dancing off beat,
Correct.
is what
Without
you're
it's
implying.
definitely offbeat or it's double beat. It could be like I'm putting an extra beat in every beat, and that's just what pace my mind goes at. That's why I
Interesting.
think that's why
So
weed is great. Weed can slow me down to the regular beat that everybody beats to, but I'm not
hard to
sure.
say.
Hard to say. Hard to say.
I was basically at my limit though. I don't know if you stayed long enough at the party, like the party I threw, where I literally just fell asleep at my own party, like
You mean
sitting
that was
in
last
a
year, right?
chair.
That was last year or this
No,
year?
like fucking 5 days ago.
You mean Wednesday room?
Yeah,
Um,
there's like pictures of me asleep in the chair
okay, wait,
while
wait.
people are just having a conversation.
There was also your buddy who was asleep beside you. I think his name was Marco. I want to say, is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we were both asleep. It was like literally my physical limit. Like I had just worked so much and then went out so much that my body's like, we're shutting down now. So apparently that's like at least the second time, but then my friends said it had happened another time. So I guess it's like at least a third time where I've just fallen asleep without being lying down.
I mean, it
There's one
is.
time I went to
Tell me.
there's one time I went to London with like a mutual friend of ours, and I was like, yeah, whatever, it's all good because like when you fly that way, it's daytime again. So we're like traveling around the pub, and I guess I just like fell asleep with like a full pint in my hand, and I like on a bar stool in London, just about tipped over.
Oh man, that's funny. I think I fell asleep standing up before. I vaguely remember it. It's
Yeah,
a trip. It's a trip when you have passage of time going past you and you're asleep and you wake up to it.
it's
You're just like you realize you did it too, obviously. And you don't realize
it's
how
always nice to
long it was typically if you fall asleep like that.
exactly. So for different reasons, instead of being drunk, I missed my party again, kind of.
Well done.
But I think it was a good time. Lots of people showed up still and said they had fun. So
Nice. No, it was a good time. I think people are getting a little older though, I can tell. Like kid commitments and yeah, just people felt like they were more responsible this year. I don't know, maybe that's Stampede. People had other plans. I'm not sure. It felt like people were getting a little older, stopping the debauchery a little bit more, you know, which is just normal.
for sure. Yeah. And I think with Stampede, and honestly, I've been so busy, I actually didn't do a great job inviting people. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it was still a good turnout, but it wasn't like I didn't like hype it up. So I think they're like, yeah, one of my friend groups just didn't show up at all because I forgot to invite them. But All good. It was a good time. Great week there. Got to show a couple coworkers Stampede, and wasn't planning on going out at night at all because I was really focused on it being a work trip. And what ended up happening is I just went out 5 nights in a row anyway, and for those 5 nights, I just like borrowed someone else's pass, which was pretty sweet. So
Yeah,
feeling pretty special that way
nice. So you went to Badlands, right? Most of the nights, right?
every night.
Every night. I drove past it a number of times, and I picked up some friends from there when after a show, and I also pre-gamed with some people before a show. So I got a taste of it, but I want to try it next year. It seems like it might be okay. Something I might like. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. It looks like I saw some of your Instagram clips, and some of the music is up my alley. When they sing songs that are like kind of from my alt side of the library. So I heard like an MGMT song, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Um,
Ah,
yeah,
got it. You probably like just the more, yeah. The problem is the more popular DJs that everyone knows, the fans suck more.
yes, that's definitely a rule. Definitely a rule.
It's inversely it's inversely correlated to how many cowboy boots you see. Because like you go to like one of the more niche shows and it was like, oh yeah, like everyone's just wearing running shoes. And then like when you go to like one of the more top 40 DJs, it's like cowboy hats and D-bags and stuff. So
So while you guys were at one of the nights at Badlands, I was at Dickens, by myself, and I was enjoying some like '90s tunes there. They had a really good DJ on stage, and just like really great sets. And something I realized is like Stampede brings out the talent. I failed to realize that that's the week to party. I've not done this enough. Um, Stampede brings talent, and I think for my kind of genres that I actually like, it was really good. You don't typically get that great shows, the rest of the year, but I think it was pretty
yeah,
good.
that's cool. The one thing I like about it is when I go there, I always end up running into people uh, that I didn't plan to go with, but they're always there. And so it's a small enough venue that you always run into them. So I had like a really nice reconnection with someone, and then I just introduced them to some of my friends, and then they hit it off. So I just really like when friends of mine get along, like in groups that otherwise wouldn't have met. Kind of like their ski trips. It's
Yeah,
sort of like the same kind of idea.
yeah, totally. No, it's definitely it's like kind of going back to conferences you've been before at. You see these people you see once a year, and you can reconnect with all the people you had a good time with, right? And you just connected with. Definitely Stampede
It's
feels like
somewhere
that.
between. It's somewhere between because like you live in the same city, you do see each other, but like it's just impossible to go as like a group of 20 and keep it together. But you just know 20 of your friends are somewhere in the crowd. So like when you're walking around or you're going to the bar or whatever, you're bound to just strike up a conversation with someone you know, I think, or at least for me.
I gotta say, this is the busiest I've ever been during a Stampede where I went to so many events. And I'm doing that just because, volunteering for Calgary Party, making me go to so many events, right? Um, I kind of feel obligated to go to like support things, but because of that, I go to like tech meetups and like cowboy events and Stampede events, and I know people there, and it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it. It does feel a little bit like work, networking and kind of forcing a little bit of an agenda in some ways. I mean, I'm trying to like convince people to do stuff. But at the same time, I'm having fun and connecting with people I haven't seen in ages. I met an engineering buddy at a mechanical actually yesterday, at a tech party, and just reconnected over what he's been up to. Um, he's just working on something so cool in the mechanical space still that he's like got a patent, and it is awesome. It like re-sparked my mechanical engineering brain for like an hour. It was awesome.
Hmm, that's cool. Glad you're having fun with it.
Yeah.
Stampede is kind of just like the medium. It's just an excuse to throw the party, and then everybody just does it their way.
Definitely. It's just an excuses for a party, and everybody kind of knows it's a week off, so they can attend it, I guess, because nobody's really working in the city. I didn't realize how important that is. That is a really good method. Um, it's smart that it happens.
It's also awesome that it's like socially acceptable, right? Like there's not too many cities that sort of have this 10-day long party where it's kind of like, yeah, no one really expects a lot of work to get done, but you get to like socialize and kind of do work a different way, which is just mingling and kind of getting that team building part of it in, I
Yeah,
guess.
totally. Team building. Completely agree. No, I don't think I appreciated it when I was younger. I think I tried to avoid it for the most part. I'd go to like one firework and I'd go to the grounds for one kind of day, and I would try to get out of the city, to be honest, and avoid it entirely. So it's only this
I
year I
think that's
really,
like
I don't know. Sorry.
I think that's like the consumer side of Stampede though, right? And then you've got like the corporate side where if you kind of have an in somewhere, then it's a completely different world, I think.
Yeah. There's something I learned about conferences for blockchain. The core part of the conference sucks, but all the side after parties that if you can get into are awesome. So never go to like the main show. Always try to go to like the
Right.
side events, right? But it's hard when you're nobody and you don't know anybody, right? Like how do you get it? You just gotta like weasel your way in, I guess. For the most part, people will let you in if you just look the part.
I agree. You need to be aggressive and extroverted if that's your jam. But there's certainly a way in if you needed to do it sort of a little bit black hat style.
Okay, I watch this YouTube channel. I forget the name right now, but they got a bunch of videos where they sneak into festivals, and I find it awesome just to watch as they attempt to sneak into festivals, and they typically the first or second or third attempt fails, and they find a way in eventually. And I don't know if they're really just filming it and they bought tickets and they just teleport in, but it doesn't look that way. It looks authentically like they figure it out, and it's just amusing. It's kind of that like meme of like walking in with a ladder. If you're just holding a ladder, you can get in anywhere. That kind of mindset.
Yep.
But
Yep. Makes sense. But like, I don't know. Like people say it's like a big they do it for entertainment or whatever, but it's like they're kind of just externalizing the cost of their video because then it like reduces trust in society. So like I don't know. I don't think like I fully support those types of videos. Because eventually if everybody tries it, then people start erecting higher barriers or they check better. But like the whole point of the video is to abuse a trust-based society. So like the ultimate net of that is like there's overall less trust if it like it's the thing is like if everyone does it then like no one can have it, right? So
ooh, you know
they're
what?
just like monopolizing on the fact that like trust is freely given, and I think in the West it's a trust first society. So i I don't know if I like it.
I agree with you for the most part. That I don't like that people cheat systems and then lose the trust because we are a trust-based society. But I think there's a way to do it where with good editing where um you nobody else could have done that. Like only they could have done that because they're qualified to do that. And they're not really giving away the secrets. They're only just making it entertainment. And that's what I remember about TV. All TV is fake. All YouTube is fake. It's all edited. So you can't like nobody really can copy what they did. It's just more for entertainment reasons. And if anything, they're giving the festival better credentials. If anything, they're like
It's
pumping it up. So it's I don't know. I'm okay with it. It's sort of like
I don't
hacking somebody and then giving their money back. That's what you're doing. I'm okay with that. If you hack
know.
a corp, you hold their $1 billion hostage, and you're like, hey, you guys can have it back. I don't even need anything. I just wanted to prove I could.
It's not like going back for free samples at Costco, and then that's why we can't have nice things.
Uh,
Hey,
you know,
didn't I already see you here?
yeah, I totally get it. I was just in a pancake line this morning, and this oh man, the pancake lines are so long. They're not worth it for the most part. But there's just people like cutting in line. Like really. Well, you know what? I take it back. Actually, I saw like 75-year-olds cutting in line, and I was like, you know what? I'm okay with that because you probably can't hold your bladder. You can't wait this hour and a half line. So I actually am okay with you cutting a line because you don't seem like you'd make it. But
I think if someone, yeah, I think if someone needs to cut in line of a pancake line, I think they need that win. So like they should just have it.
I kind of agree these days. I used to be an asshole about this kind of thing. I used to be like, no, man, that's not cool. And I know this one guy this one group tried to cut in line at the Vancouver Olympics for a hockey game, right? And they cut in line like right like next to me, like really close. And I had a really good quip, and I made them get out of line. It was great. I wish I don't think I can give it justice. I can never give my stories justice when I say something cool. This won't work. Um, I said something like, "Did you guys not learn how lines work in kindergarten?" Like something I said something like that, and then I just stood stationary aggressively and stared at him, and he backed down eventually. He just said he kind of like realized that this was going to become an altercation, and they folded and went to the back. The but I don't know. I kind of just was like, just not necessary. It just wasn't necessary. I don't know, but it wasn't necessary for me to do it either. I was just stunted, really.
I think, yeah. I think if it's an entertainment line, it's more rage inducing. But if you're like trying to steal pancakes, then fuck, you probably need it.
Totally.
So the thing you're doing matters, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think I'm more chill in my older years. I don't doesn't affect me as much anymore. I'm just
I
okay
think
with
if
it.
someone said, I think if someone said there's an hour and a half pancake line, I'd be like, why? I wouldn't even go to that. I'd be like, you do you.
Yep. Yep. I can handle waiting 30 minutes for pancakes. I can't handle waiting longer than that. It's not worth the
The problem
pancakes.
is, the problem is assessing a pancake line is tough because like you don't know how quickly the serving is occurring because you don't really go into too many pancake lines. So, it's hard to judge. Like a washroom line, you go to so many of those, you can be like, okay, this is like a 20-minute washroom line. How do you know what a 20-minute pancake line looks like?
Yep. I mean, I'll tell you for one thing, the pancake start time starts on time because most of them are catered, and if they say they're starting at 9, they start at 9. You may be lining up at 8:45. They're not starting at 8:55. They're starting at 9. So they're pretty like on time catered. Most of these like pancake events I feel like are like organized by ah like for marketing reasons. I saw a Rivian truck that was being advertised while we were standing in pancake line. And there was this guy like awkwardly washing it, just like pretending to wash it, just to like make us look at the Rivian truck. I just thought it was like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good advertising for us, 400 people waiting
Yeah,
in line.
of course all pancake breakfasts are marketing. I don't think they're actually marketing the pancakes themselves.
Yep. I mean, there's an occasional pancake breakfast that's like ran by like a nice volunteer society that's like warmly made, I think. Typically they're like vegan or they're like hipster or like they're like full of
Man,
like weird people, but that's the kind of pancake place I want to go to.
is is there even a single pancake breakfast that like stands out in your life?
One.
I'll tell you
One.
me.
Go on, go on. You go first. I got one. I got
No,
one.
no,
You have zero? You have zero pancake breakfasts that stand out in your life. None of them were even.
I can't
Wow, that's sad, Chris. Wow, it's really that's terrible. Can you come over for breakfast next Stampede? I'll make you some pancakes. I'll make you stand in line. I don't know.
remember. I'm not saying pancakes made by anyone. I mean,
I
have you
know,
ever
I know,
have you
I
been to
get.
one
You've never been to a
single
pancake
memorable
breakfast that you
pancake?
appreciated. You're saying that you were like, this was lovely. Okay, I've only been to one, so I can't really say I've been to too many. But there was one, what I was describing, like a volunteer event in Bridgeland at the park, where it was like a really warm and welcoming pancake land. It was actually volunteers. I don't know. They were just really nice, and they had the choice of like regular pancakes or gluten-free pancakes or like hipster pancakes. Like they were like it was warm and welcoming, and people were like talking to you while you were there. It wasn't like I don't know. It was nice. Maybe I had a great day. That's probably what it was.
Yep. What's your agenda, man?
Wow. My agenda was two things, and we've already started talking about one of them. It was mostly just Stampede and poker. Those are the only things I want to talk about today.
Oh shit.
But I don't know.
Um,
I don't know.
I've been
I don't know.
I've been watching. I watch pretty religiously Daniel Negreanu's daily vlogs from the WSOP. So
Ooh, interesting. Um,
yeah, they're sick.
yeah, I wanted to tell you about like my casino experiences this week because I've been going an awful lot this week because I've just been in the area and it's kind of just been working out. But I found, yeah, it's something to poker. Hey, when did you start playing poker, Chris? That's my first question.
Probably with you in like first year university was when I first learned about Hold'em.
Okay, so when
And of
you
course,
were 18 when you learned, roughly.
yeah, because that was 18 was when Moneymaker won the WSOP and kind of kicked off the boom. So I think I probably was part of that.
So wait, did was your first poker game like in the dorm with like Jason and Kyle, maybe?
I don't think so because I didn't really know them back then.
Then do
And
you
I
remember your
didn't
first
live
game? Oh, was it? Wait, was it your was it your place at a party?
Honestly, I don't remember my first game.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I remember playing poker the first time, and actually was online when I was, I think, 16 or 17. I'm gonna say 16. Um, yeah, it was online poker, and I borrowed my dad's credit card. I asked him if I could put $100 on it, and I played online poker, and that's how I got kind of addicted to poker. And it's the typical story that everybody tells. A kid, takes their parents' credit card, puts $100 on there, quickly makes, doubles that, is ecstatic and think they've solved, the solution to making money, right? And then slowly they lose all of that, put another $100 on their credit card, their parents' credit card, and then another $100, and then another $100, and then it goes, it's goes downhill from there. And that's practically what happened. I grinded back $1,000 on my dad's credit card, and then I got back to $1,000, and I withdrew all my money. And then I gave my dad his money back, but he saw it on his credit card statement, and he like flipped out on me. Because he was just like, "What are you doing?" Right? But it was amusing though. I learned a lot about poker through that. But then I started playing, I think, live games, and like I said, it was for me. It was at the dorm in engineering. Our buddies who went to Res, I played poker with those guys. Oh, you remember Bill?
Hmm.
I think Bill got us into poker, if I remember correctly. We used to play at Poets.
I don't, man, I truly don't remember. I remember talking a lot of poker in class when I should have been in class, but yeah. But then I think I started playing mostly online as well.
Yeah. You still enjoy it? You still play?
Not since it switched to GTO. I'm probably a terrible poker player now. I
Yeah.
mean, the game has evolved a lot.
So I completely agree that the game has evolved, and for the last 5 years, I've not really enjoyed playing poker. I still continue to play like once or twice a year at a casino. Um, and I really found that like the game wasn't fun because I knew I was losing at it because I realized my strategy was bad. Um, and also, it didn't feel like it was enough money on the line. It didn't feel actually risky because, like our stocks going up and down is way more risky than what we're playing in person, right?
I think it's money on the line for sure. Like if you were gonna put money on the line, we did with stocks or something, like you'd be basically at pro levels, right?
Exactly.
Basically, the other way to put it is like the game becomes hard very quickly at relatively low stakes. Like if you play 1-2 online, it's probably all pros at that point because that's still people with a decent bankroll, possibly multi-tabling and just grinding out like five big blinds an hour or something like that, right?
Yep,
but they're all semi-pros or trying to do it for a living kind of thing.
totally. So I think that's why I don't play online either, because that's even like more stacked against you. But I think I solved the problem for myself for poker this week. I figured out how to make poker fun again, enjoyable, and possibly profitable. Undetermined. Undetermined if profitable or not yet. But I feel like I might be profitable. So that's good enough for me. Um, so this is really weird to say out loud, but wow, what did I do this week? Okay, so I had to do a lot of networking. I was already in the area. I went to play a bunch of poker. And craps actually. I wanted to learn craps. Okay, so wait, why did I even go? Well, I work in blockchain and I'm part of like teams that run online casinos and blockchain gambling, degeneracy and digital collectibles and meme coins and a whole bunch of stuff like that, which is, casino adjacent. So I really went to go this casino this time just as R&D. I was like, okay, I'm gonna pretend I'm dumb and just play like somebody who's dumb and see what happens. Just to feel the feelings of what it's like to not know what you're doing so I can appreciate what it's like to go to a casino without math skills. Does that make any sense?
Okay.
So, oh God, it's too long for this conversation probably. But I started off with playing craps, but not like playing optimal craps. I started playing like suboptimal somewhat to figure out a method that was fun rather than optimal. And it was way more enjoyable. I had a way better time just betting, min betting sort of, and finally learned how craps work. Finally, by doing this, because I got a whole bunch of play involved, and I found a method of like that was suboptimal, that was losing, but losing slowly, and it was losing slowly, and I had entertainment because I got to roll the dice and I got to play. So okay, so what should I go over first? I should tell you that method, or should I tell you poker? Go back to poker. Okay, my poker method on day two was I came in at 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, where everybody assumes everybody's trashed. Because poker at Stampede is drunk people, right? Sharks come to eat the fish, right? Um, but I'm still jet lagged from my trip, and it looks like my eyes are red shot, bloodshot. But I actually hadn't been drinking at all, and I was dressed to the nines for Stampede, so I looked very cowboy, right? And I just acted like a fool and drunk. And I totally just gambled like a dummy at poker, like foolishly. Like I bet every freaking hand. I constantly just pushed all in, and it was so much fun because it was so much fun because everybody started targeting me. Everybody started being like, "That's the sucker. Let's take his money." And they openly talked out loud about how I was the sucker because they thought I was trashed. And literally, what I did was, as soon as they started talking about me, I would go on my phone and pretend like I could not hear them. Okay, and then I did this. This is the stupidest move in the world. Okay, oh my god. I enjoyed this so much because I was tired. Oh god, I gotta show you this fucking move. Okay, so I'd have my two cards, right? I would look at my cards like this. I pick my cards up like that every time. Every fucking time. I did not do the peek like everybody fucking does. I just lifted them up and it was awesome. It was fucking
So that
awesome.
only you could see, or could others still see them?
Well, it looks like I'm a fucking idiot if I'm lifting my cards so high. The guys to my left and right get like a quick little peek, but not really, right? It's so fast you actually can't see it. You might catch like a glimpse of a color, but it looks like I'm not very smart, is what it does. And I realized I was actually quite tired, but I realized the table just enjoyed it, and I'm like, wow, this is making everybody loose. This is making everybody aggressive, and they all opened it up to like targeting me. And I'm not a trash poker player. I kind of know how to play. But since I realized that, I realized, okay, well, those are the nits over there. And those are the guys who are targeting me. So they're playing looser and they're playing worse ranges, right? And then lucky enough, I didn't have total trash hands. So I was able to walk away with as like a barely suboptimal loss, right? But the funny thing is I had a blast doing it. Like there was a huge amount of variance. So I got to go into these, hands that were just fun instead of grinding like a nit playing, hours of poker. I played 1 hour and a half of poker and got to have a lot of fun. And it didn't feel like money was that risky because it's not like it's that much money compared to stocks. Does that make any sense?
Yep. What's the moral of the story there?
The
Misery?
rest of the week, everybody thinks I'm terrible at poker. And I caught some things that I didn't realize happens in poker rooms. Yesterday, I went to the casino. I'm putting my, I'm getting my chips, and a dealer signals to the room what kind of player I am, and I caught him,
Mm.
and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize there's fucking weird things that happen at casinos at 4 a.m. First of all, there's like a regular table, right, full of like rounders. You know that rounder scene where like Mike goes to the casino and he sees all the regulars and they're just waiting for the fish to show up, right? That was the moment where I go catching my chips and a dealer signals out loud, says a donkey noise out loud, signaling that I'm a donkey because I've come in being a donkey before, right? And and also like the pit boss tries to convince me to sit at the table with the sharks, and I recognize a guy from like 10 years ago because I've played poker for 20 years. Realize this? I've gone to casinos since I was 18. Um, and it was just interesting. It was interesting to see a different side of poker that I did not realize occurred. And it was nice to go in without knowing I was going to win, knowing that I was probably going to lose, and it was a good R&D test to like figure out what makes poker fun for people who don't know how to play, and what makes casinos fun for people who are trying to win and maybe don't understand fractions. People who don't can't inherently just calculate odds in their mind and can figure out, what winning strategies are, who just come in as an oblivious gambling person. And I think that's interesting. It was fun for me. It was fun for me to be that person. That's my whole moral of the story. Um, yeah, I don't know.
So there was fewer drunken Stampede people there than you thought?
Oh no, the first day I came, there was other people like me who were trashed or actually trashed, and um, there was tons of fish all over the place. Yesterday there wasn't. Yesterday it felt very nitty. Not many people who were actually um, drunk. Maybe that's because it was a Thursday night, middle of the week stampede. I assume tonight and Friday, Saturday is probably going to be the, you know, best time you know, to go.
Got it.
Yeah. Do you like craps? I assume. Um, how do you play craps?
Yeah. I pretty much, if I have enough bankroll, just load the come bets and never press. So just take my wins, but try to hit like long rolling streaks.
But do you put money on is it the pass line where it gives you better odds to put on the numbers? Is that what you do?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
and then you load that up as max. So if you get like a four, do you max out a four?
Yeah. So a four on one unit, you could put 4 units behind.
But doesn't that create a ton of variance because the four doesn't come out very often?
Yep. But it's the most mathematically break-even way to play because everything behind is paid out evenly.
But then aren't you bankrolling with like a two thousand
Just the
dollars?
pass line is, yep.
So you bankroll 2,000, 3,000, $4,000 kind of mindset. That's
You
how you.
pretty much have to because you can have like 200 bucks on the table easily.
Yeah,
So
totally,
if you, yeah,
totally. I totally understand how you're supposed to play. Um, and that's what this old guy was doing beside me. He was, perfectly optimizing. Where all these kids around me are playing with $100, not knowing what they're
yep.
doing. Right? That's just
But you're playing against the house anyway, so what they do doesn't matter.
totally.
But so yeah, I play mostly proper. The only way to play better than that is to play the don't pass line, but then you're going against the crowd, so you give up a little bit of edge to be with the crowd, and then when you're hitting big, then it's a lot of fun.
Interesting.
And I've I've once played a 45-minute roll and I made the table thousands of dollars. And some guy tipped me $100 at the cage because he recognized that I was the roller for that hot streak. And then the whole
Nice.
casino just popped off. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
45 minutes is forever. So the
More
old
memorable than a pancake breakfast.
the old guy beside me got a 20-minute roll, and I got a 10-minute roll, which I was stoked about because
Pretty good.
that's my first time ever getting a 10-minute roll, by the way.
But I've
Um,
had that entire sleeve full of greens before, just from playing like that.
nice.
And that's just playing one unit, $6. So, or $5.
So I played a weird strat, which is like I said earlier, suboptimal. I played I don't know all the lines. Um, the first one where you put your $10 in is called what? Come bet? Is that what it's called?
The first bet, like when you're coming out,
Yeah, yeah.
that's just playing the pass line.
Sure, sure, sure. So pass line, $10, right? And then the number will come that's not a 7, 11, or 2 or whatever. Um, and then you put money behind, which is the
Yeah.
pass line, right? And then you put money in front too. Right? What is that called? The what's the line in front of the pass line? Come bet, come bet. Yes. Right?
There's the come line, then there's the field, and then there's just the numbers.
Yes, yes, got it. So the come bet, so you can get odds on the numbers, right? So I was betting 10 on come, 10 on pass, and 10 on behind. And I found that was a great
These
strat.
Yeah, that's not the best way to do it though, because if you hit any number, you can put 4 units behind on even with even odds. So you should be playing $5 and then putting 20 behind, either 20, 25, or 30
So
behind.
min bet is 10. So you half bet 10.
Oh, it makes sense. Okay.
So the
Oh,
reason
they
why,
doubled it.
I guess so. But
Stampede odds.
Stampede odds, right? So I mean, I get that I could have bet more, but I went 10, 10, 10. And the reason why is it was just easy addition in my head. Like I just could see my money easier. And then what would happen is I would get odds on a number, right? And I wouldn't max that either, actually. I would constantly be
Yeah,
putting 20 on it and maybe even
yeah.
15 just to even out my variance. And then what would happen is I get
No,
money on the table and then I'd put money on 7 coming to hedge my bets. And I found this method
so,
was just slow losing, which was fun.
yeah, it sounds stupid.
It's totally stupid, but
So
it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
just go in with
the
five.
numbers just came out. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's optimally perfect betting. It sounds boring. What's the point? I want to just
Because the whole point of it is to wager enough that you actually feel excited.
true, true. To me,
Otherwise,
it's just like it's fun to just have chips on the table that are flowing. Like to me, that's fun. And I'm imagining what it's
yeah,
like to just to have flowing chips. They're just flowing. But
sure.
I get that's suboptimal, totally suboptimal. Um, I think
You're just wagering the same money for worse odds. So yeah,
correct, correct, totally what it is. Um, yep. Sounds like Pai Gow poker is what I think that's like. Um, but I don't know. It was a good way for me to learn craps at least because I think by playing that way, I truly understood what everything was doing. So maybe that was good. That was a good way to learn instead of just max optimizing and then not really understanding where all the ratios are coming in. Betting every time like really flat numbers made the math easy and made it more obvious what was happening. So maybe it's a good learning
but then
method.
you don't actually, but then you don't actually learn how much you can put behind each number.
Well, no, you do because the dealers keep correcting you and going, "You're being dumb. Why aren't you maxing?" Trust me, they constantly are telling you what the right answer is. But um, it was more enjoyable to just. It was good to learn all the things. I don't even know. Like, do you understand what the horn bet does? Do you even do any of that fancy stuff in the middle?
It's all suboptimal. You should be only playing like pass line
You sound like a
bets.
you sound like a nit. This is exactly how you become a nit at gambling. You play optimal strategy always. So is there not?
I have probably put more money through a casino than you have
Well, you
by
live
a
there.
long shot.
I mean, you've lived next to one for 10 years, so I assume you
I've
have.
fed like thousands of dollars through a machine, spinning it and stopping the reel as fast as I can, just trying to hit the auto jackpot.
I know. I'm aware. Oh, that's funny.
It's like literally hitting the button as fast as I can hit it. I don't even care what shows up on the screen. So can't really call someone a nit if they're like if you want money flowing.
You true. You're a fast net. You're fastly winning. You didn't gamble this time around, right? You didn't go casino?
You know,
Yeah, you were fast in and out. Damn, nice.
just prioritized raving, I think.
What was the favorite show?
Uh there's a techno guy that came on second on day three. That was quite good. American named Leighton Giordani played a really good set. And then I went to a after party at Commonwealth basement, which is also surprisingly good, and it was with really good people. So
Nice. Yeah, Commonwealth's a good party. Good club.
yeah, their downstairs has like it's a way nicer room in the basement. You go in from the alleyway, and they have like super nice sound system, super cozy. It's a good little joint. That's where I got sprouted, so it's nice.
Oh, that's we got sprouted. So you know they play that ducky game in China actually at like pool bars there, which is odd. I think every time you miss a shot, you get a duck on you. They clip a duck on you.
Hmm.
Um, this is like a weird phenomenon going on in like Asia where people go and like socialize at a place full of snooker and pool tables. It's like full of young people. It's actually an interesting place where I didn't know that was so popular. Me and Jack were checking them out, and people had like 20 ducks on them, and it was
It's
yeah.
a high skill cap game, unlike slots or craps,
Mhm.
which has you could master that very quickly.
Yeah. You still playing Hearthstone these days?
Yep. Just played a little bit today, but like super unseriously. I play Hearthstone like you play craps. I just slowly.
Suboptimally, you're finding a different way to play. Interesting.
I just play without. Yeah, exactly. That's actually a really good analogy. Instead of like finding out the best things, I just play by feel, and that feeling is usually wrong. But I have like so much. I have so much gold just from like playing 10 years now. Like I basically can do whatever I want in the game. So it doesn't matter.
That's funny. What's it called? Kyle would call me fancy pants at poker because I would try to stunt on a game on a hand, right? Like try to win it without earning it, you know? And it's fun. It's suboptimal. I'm not trying to win anymore. I'm trying to win in a fancy way. I'm trying to get some like endorphins going. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
okay, there was one hand which I could have wrecked the table on and pissed off everybody by like angle shooting. And I almost did it and I held back this time. I normally would have, but I didn't. Um, what did I do? I made a bluff on the turn, but I didn't want to show how shitty I was playing, or I wanted to show that I was an idiot. So I said I have a flush when I knew I didn't have a flush, right? On the river, as I flipped over my cards confidently. Um, because I wanted to pretend like I was drunk, right? I was trying to pretend like I can't even see my cards because I'm drunk. So I flip over my cards and say flush, right? And but I haven't called yet because I haven't called. I haven't say the word call. He's gone all in, and I just flip over my card and say flush, which is kind of a tool move to make, by the way, right? But I'm like, whatever, fuck it, I'm just doing this. And then like the dealer's just like, it's not a flush. Everybody's on the table is like, the fuck, it's not a flush, right? But the other guy, um, uh, doesn't flip his cards over right away, and the whole table is like, he called, right? And the dealer's like, no, he didn't call. He didn't actually say call. So they're arguing about whether I said call or not. And I'm just taking my time, just pretending like nothing's happening. And uh, and then the deal, they're kind of asking me if I want to call or not. I'm like, what do you mean? I didn't know what you're talking about. I have a flush, right? And then the guy mucks. he mucks because he assumes he wins because I have nothing, right? Or he puts his cards in and he like the dealer's already shuffling up, and I'm saying, guys, I haven't made a decision yet, and I could totally take that pot because he fucking mucked if just by saying call. And that's a terrible angle that you should never do, but it totally would have pissed off everybody. But I just called pit boss. And the dealer actually asked me, do I want to call pit boss? And I decided to like not piss off everybody. Instead, they're just going to
You
keep having
wanted to
fun.
not get your ass kicked outside the casino.
Correct. Maybe. Maybe that was it. It was fun though. The key is everybody was lively and excited and obviously have targeted me as a terrible player now, and it worked in my favor entirely. It worked because now it was just fun targeting. So I could play shitty hands and then actually have okay odds to play them because they think I'm trash. So they're like, they'll come in with their shitty hands. It kind of worked. You know what? I think that's a good strategy if you have a teammate, two teammates that are actually nits, and then just take everybody else's money. But also kind of
Yeah.
angling. Do you feel bad? Like, is that unethical, Chris? Is that unethical to be angle shooting, team play, collusion in poker? Is that against the rules in your mind?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the stakes are just too low. Like it's not interesting.
Have you heard of like private games where there's cheaters, or have you heard of Hustler Stream where there was that like controversial like like sending people information about people's hands behind the scenes? Have you heard that story?
Yeah, I'm not that specific one, but of course, I mean, at the high stakes for sure that exists.
Yeah. I mean, I think one that scared me was those cards that a phone can read because it's got UV markings on the side of it that can tell you the whole stack. That's kind of surreal to me that like um
I think if you're like smart enough to cheat at poker or like any game, you're basically smart enough to make more money doing anything that's not gambling. Like that's
definitely,
why max bets occur.
totally. If you're a good thief,
So,
you should just be a good business person. Like why
yeah.
would you if you're so good at this,
Yeah.
black
The
market.
best thieves are white collar criminals. Like there's
Exactly,
no need to
exactly.
game someone else's rules. So,
Totally.
I mean, people do it for the thrill. I totally can get that to be like, hey, I just did this thing. But if you, a really cool guy is Ed Thorpe, who basically you should listen to some of his podcasts. But he basically started off as a blackjack counter. Then he was like, okay, I'm bored now. And then ended up just starting a hedge fund. And then he basically created the original Black Scholes model for pricing options.
Wow.
But he had done that already in his hedge fund. And then he just released the paper to be like, here's what I've been doing for 20 years. And then he folded up his hedge fund. I was like, I'm rich enough. I'm just going to go live my own life. And he's a super interesting guy. Super interesting guy. But
Wow.
yeah, he started off card counting, but it's like, yeah, if you can card count, you can also make millions of dollars instead of getting banned from casinos for a living.
Definitely. I like Steve Bridges' YouTube channel where he
Yeah, I follow him too.
yeah, he's a guy who runs he's part of a crew who goes to like casinos to play blackjack, his
I watch
team
his,
play,
I watch his,
right?
I
But I
watch his
also
channel.
I also enjoy it because he's like showing the behind the scenes. He's always in a new disguise. He's always kind of like making it fun. It's kind of, and of course he's taking a ton of like suboptimal play by just like putting it on YouTube. Because if you put it on YouTube, like he's getting noticed by the industry, and then like dealers recognize him because they follow him on YouTube because it's fun because they're in the industry as well. But it makes good content, so does it matter? I don't know.
Yeah, but that he's like an entertainer first and a counter second. That's what I mean. And if you're smart enough to do that, you're smart enough to do something else as your primary money making gig.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah, I can see
but
that.
I mean, I do like when people make money creatively. So I don't know. I think sweaters was kind of cool. Never seen anyone do that.
Yep. Um, oh look, Lyric is coming up. Here's Lyric for the audience. She wants to say hello. um, our resident mascot dog for Rejected Potential. Hey, that party. Did you know we have one really big fan? Do you know who the biggest fan in the room was?
At my party?
Yeah, at your party.
No clue, man.
You don't know? Oh, interesting. So, um, what? Okay, so Lyric's gonna bug me here. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna ignore. What happened? So I was doing some filming to just kind of like pretend like season one was wrapping up, and like I don't know, we were in person. We were gonna do a podcast together. We never got around to doing that. So I started like asking people if they even knew about our podcast, and one
Oh shit.
person actually was a fan and like had to admit it. It was like, yeah, I know a lot. I've watched them all. Like, and he was like, oh, you just got back from Japan, right, Adil? Like he just knew, you know, what was going up. And what he really wanted was some swag. He requested, a baseball hat with projected potential on it, a T-shirt. Yeah, we have one true fan. I want to say his name out loud. I don't know if that's weird or not. But he's awesome, and he was really happy about the content we put out.
Oh, interesting. I mean, if they watch everything, wouldn't they appreciate the shout out, or is it something private? I have no idea who it is, so I can't even make a judgment.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Is that weird? Should is this like what's that show? Flight of the Concords with the one crazy chick fan. Did you ever watch that show?
No.
Oh, that's funny. It's like I don't know. It's true that bands get their first fan, right? And that shows up to every event. And like it's kind of like I think we had that. We had one of those people, which is awesome. I'm not gonna say their name. I don't want to do it this time. Maybe
Okay.
maybe I'll what
Well,
I'll do instead is I'm gonna get them a hat. I'm gonna get them a hat. They'll be the first person that gets the swag.
would
Uh,
you have to make a hat first?
well, yeah, I gotta make the hat. Of course, I realize it's gotta be an
Will you make us
embroidered.
a hat then?
Yeah, of course, you get a hat and I get a hat. I'm only making three hats. You know, first biggest fan, you and me. That's it. And then I don't know. T-shirts come later, whatever, right? I'll shout out. All In Podcast is a podcast that I watch, and they just made All In Podcast branded tequila that looks
Saw
actually.
that.
You see the bottle?
No, I just saw something on Twitter about what they must have made off that. I think someone estimated with the 5,000 bottles, they probably made like a couple million bucks or something like that.
I mean, it's pennies for those guys who are like a few of them are billionaires, so I don't think it's much.
Uh,
But I think more though. Um, it was a really cool bottle. It was a stack of chips. It was a stack of poker chips that were like offset a little bit. So like some of the chips are out of line at the top, and it just looked like a really
yeah,
cool bottle of tequila.
yeah, it
Um,
makes sense.
yeah. I really got to say shout out to those guys because they kind of pioneered they probably weren't the first, but like the Zoom podcast, like what we're doing right now, like that. You can do a podcast without being in the same room, like Rogan. Where you can do
Right.
it where you're, from anywhere, and that makes you probably doing it more consistently. I think they do it every Thursday, and I like their content. I know you don't like Chamath because he's a SPAC guy or something. I don't know.
It's charlatan.
Yep, he does
Got a
seem.
horrible track record.
I've heard. So does Trump. Um, but
I
uh,
don't like Trump.
you don't like charlatans. Is it okay if they won the whole time? I mean, that's kind of what happened. It looks like. They always cut themselves first, right? And then I assume their friends and family made out good too. And then it's like a pyramid scheme. The downline of the downline gets wrecked. But yeah, I don't know. I think you're not wrong on that assessment. Just like Trump. But I think they have gems of wisdom in their words sometimes, and it's not terrible to learn from these people. Um, I wonder if I don't know, when you're so big, isn't it just hard not to crush ants when you're a giant? I don't know. I don't know. Hard to say.
Depends on the moral pressure test, which I do think a lot of people fail.
Interesting. Okay, how does that go? What's the moral pressure test?
Well, most people just never get tested because they never get put in the opportunity to test something like that. And then they just choose the easy thing, you know? Usually it's related to money, but doesn't have to be. Like someone's like, "Oh yeah, like I'll never cheat on my wife. We love each other." But then they've probably never like been put in front of like a supermodel who wants to fuck or something. So like it's easy for anyone to say anything because they most people don't need to actually back that up with a real life situation. So that's the moral pressure test.
Ah, that makes sense. Moral pressure test. That's good. That's a good way to think about it. Oh, that reminds me of a song. Huh. Um, yeah, interesting. Um, what was I trying to say there?
I don't judge.
Yeah. Anything you want to talk about?
I think I'm good. Yeah, I just want to talk about my trip. I'll be back in Calgary in a couple of weeks' time. Gonna head over to Copenhagen. I'll be in Copenhagen in this around this time next week, just for a few days. So looking forward to that,
Nice.
and mostly just to hang out with my friend. I've discovered that traveling. I think I'm kind of over traveling, man. Um, Now, to me, traveling is just like a medium to hang out with someone and like create a memory with them. But I have been to Paris like 6 times. I've like never been in the Louvre, never gone up the tower, never done anything. It's just like, yeah, I'll just eat with you and we'll crush some coffee and some patio drinks and in a nice place. But that's sort of what this trip is. It's just to like connect with a friend I haven't talked to in a long time and we'll go do some touristy shit, but the touristy shit isn't really the purpose. The purpose is just to do something and be with that person. So,
Totally. Man, I completely agree. I think I'm over going to sites for the sake of going to sites. I just like to go with people I enjoy hanging out with.
especially
Yeah,
with the internet, you can- I can like watch a vlog and feel like I'm there and someone took bigger pains than I did to get a better view and shot it in 4K or launched the drone or like, you know.
totally. Yep.
The
I
other
would.
thing also is because like you just have Ubers now and everything. I also think like traveling has become very abstract. Like I think we talked about it, where you just like you get on a plane, you you're in this tube, you're watching movies on the plane or what have you, but you're kind of just not aware of your surroundings, right? And then you get out, get off the jet bridge, and then you take an Uber to your hotel. Then you Uber around to like the tourist site. So you're not really even like interacting. You're kind of just slow teleporting from one place to another. But since you don't have to like read a map or really use directions anymore, it's like for me anyway, I think like the journey part of it has become like much more abstract, you know? Like especially when like I'm traveling for work, like Hungary, for example, where I spent like a couple days in Budapest, like you just get off the plane, you go to where you need to go, like some government building. You do your meeting there, and you're just in a room and you do a meeting, then you get in an Uber, go back to your hotel or go eat, but you're really not. Yeah, you're not in the surroundings, right? You're just more at like a restaurant or more like in a building than more in like a chain hotel where they're kind of made to look like everything else, and then you just Uber back to the airport and get on a plane and go back. So it's like I don't know. Maybe it's taken all the fun out of it, but yeah, just feels like traveling is much more
Mundane.
abstract.
Yeah.
And then I read a very interesting article where every street side cafe eventually is converging to look the same because all their umbrellas come from China. So like every cafe has the same fucking retractable umbrella.
Totally.
And so now it like just doesn't even really matter uh, where you sit. Like every hipster coffee shop in every city kind of looks the same. You know what I mean? It's kind of got the white walls, the plants, and the beach or light brown furniture. And You sit
God.
outside, you're kind of in the same chair because they all come from the commercial place, then they get everything from a sea can in China kind of thing. So it's interesting that sort of the world's touristic destinations are starting to converge, aside from like all the major landmarks, of course, like the landmarks you would normally go to see. But yeah, I would say like patio side Spain, patio side France on just like a neighborhood cafe. They start blending together for me, or maybe I'm just coming from like a super privileged place to say that.
I think you're totally right. I think there's three forks that allow you to get outside of that. I think one is going the luxury route to things that are just really hard to do unless you have a lot of money, you know. So that's like, I don't know, sailing in Croatia on that yacht week or whatever, or like Dubai something expensive. I don't know what it is. Um, I think there's two other ones though, and I think there's going to a place that is really hard because the culture is really different. I would say China's like that. If you go to like, I don't know, Sri Lanka or something, or like, I don't know, some weird Amazon jungle, you know, I don't know. I bet there's places that are just, the culture's way different because the language and they don't have English speakers. If you go where there's no English speakers, um, you might experience
Like
something.
Germany.
No, I feel like they can speak English. They speak English. That doesn't count. Your work life doesn't though. Your work life is exciting. I think that's cool. Now the third
You
one,
think that work?
well, yeah, I think your work life is exciting because you have to converse in German somewhat. You have to do the German cultural things. You have to, negotiate with people in German culture. You have to like, I'm certain your German work is different than touristy Germany. What do you think?
Well, my workplace language is English, at least when I interact with it. But yeah, for sure, learning a new work culture is very different than a social culture. For sure. There's more norms and you really got to get deep in the game there. Social culture, I think you can kind of skim it if you want. Like you could just go to McDonald's and Starbucks and never
So,
interact with it.
oh God,
But you
totally.
can't succeed in work culture if you don't become part of it,
Wait. I'll
right?
give you one caveat. China airport in Guangzhou, McDonald's didn't have French fries. Um, and their burger was terrible. They didn't have a cheeseburger. They only had a Big Mac, and their Big Mac wasn't good. So no, no, not all McDonald's are the same. I gotta say that out loud. In China, they're actually just terrible.
But still safe, I think.
Wasn't that? I guess so. You're right. You're for the most part right. You can avoid it all by going to the brands. The brands typically save you. But where are they not brands? That's where you're going somewhere new. The third one, which I didn't say out loud, was nature. Actually, going to like places that are really in the woods or in the off the beaten track. And I found two methods to do that actually. One was a trip I'm going on, that motorcycle trip coming up. But one other one I've been trying to do more is Jeep trails. I have a Jeep and it can go on trails that other people can't go on. And there are hidden Jeep trails that take you to places that are really weird. And I went down one this week and it was whack, actually. Um, yeah. Have you ever I mean, you had a truck in Rocky Mountain House. Did you ever like venture to some weird places with your truck? No? Weird. I mean, I assume you saw some like farmers' fields more, like some weird things being, going in like oil field pipelines and stuff.
Yeah, I was just also not really an outdoorsy guy. So,
Yeah. Okay, so I did this one adventure. I'll tell you a story if you want. I was kind of bored of networking in Stampede. So on Monday this week, I was just like, I need to get out of the city. Let's just take Lyric and go east. I just decided to go east. I don't know where. I thought maybe I would like maybe hit some balls at Delacorte and then maybe I'd go to Hannah. I don't know. I used to have a project in Hannah, so I thought I'd try to make it to Hannah. I even can't remember how far away Hannah is. I think it's 2 hours from Calgary. So I just started driving east and I'm quite tired. I missed the Delacorte exit, so I just kept going. And then I don't know, I saw a range road. I'm like, that's a gravel path. Let's go down that one. Sure, turn north. I'm on a dirt track that most people don't drive down. And then I turned right on something else, and I'm just going east and just keep going east. And I'm like, man, I'm getting tired. I need to find somewhere to like go under a tree. But east is a lot more prairie-ish. You got to like find your trees. So I quickly pull up Google Maps, but I don't want to like Google a location. I just want to look at the satellite view or like the overview, and I'm like, okay, well that's a lake and that's a lake. So there'll be trees by the lakes. Go towards lakes. Trying to drive past the lake and I don't see where the trees are, so I go to the next one, and then I see this like perfect Jeep path, as I call it. Like it's a path that only a Jeep should go down. And I'm like, and I see on Google Maps, it's going to a lake, and I'm like, ah, it's perfect. And then I see a quick like glimpse that there's 2 reviews on it, and they're like 4.5 stars or whatever. I'm like, ah, it's perfect. That's definitely the tourist spot, where farmers go or something. I don't know. It's something's there. So I go on this Jeep path, and there's those like if you know hurdles, just like getting into a club. The first one is, would you like to drive into the farmer's field, this beautiful path, or continue down the Jeep path, which is obviously like the right of way for like public land? But the farmer's path looks way more enticing, right? Because that's where they go, obviously, right? And you have to choose you have to choose the shitty path. That's obviously the right one. That's going to the lake. So I choose that one. I got that first one correct. The next one is, it's like a swerve in the road that like goes over like a mud puddle that like turns away civics. Like some idiot civic came out there, right? And it's like, I can make it on this road, and they're just like, no, I can't do that one, right? And yeah, there's like a Jeep is like, no, I just go around it. I'm just gonna go around into the grass a bit, and I can go around that shit. Keep going, and then I finally get to the end, and I finally see the trees, and there's this like metal sign that's just a weird metal sign. There's not anything written on it. It looks like a singular parking spot for one vehicle. I'm just like, what? Okay, whatever. I park here, and I realize it looks like you maybe could go further, but I don't want to get into a swamp. I don't have a winch. I don't really want to get, wrecked. So no, I'm not going to do that. So I park into the trees, get some shade, and then I'm like, where's the lake? I can't see the lake. So I look on Google Maps quickly, and I realize it's a kilometer in still. Um, and I just start packing my hiking gear. Like I start packing a day pack so I can hike a kilometer in with lyric too. So I just start packing up and decide, fuck it, let's go. Um, yeah, it was fun. Um, what happened then? Wow, such a long story. Um,
Was it public land though? Did you know?
you just tell it's public. It's like around all lakes are like public, right? Isn't that a rule? Like the just like an ocean, you always have like um 20-foot offsets or 40-foot offsets from all water is public land. So there's always one right away in, right? At least one. Sometimes there's four or whatever, right? From each direction. Um, but I can tell it's public land. Just the way the fences are made. You have the farmer's field here, and you have the farmer's field here, and you have this one right away for like,
Hmm.
a power line or a pipeline or whatever bullshit the government has. I'm sure certain it was. Um, so suffice to say, I hike up to the top of the hill so I could see the lake, and I get up there. And I got binoculars, by the way. I got some like nice binoculars now because I got a beautiful view. And I look around. I'm like scouting where I am, and I go, oh wow, there's 2 trailers over there of people who live here on the farmer's field side under the trees that look really pretty. And I'm like, is there any movement? Are they at Stampede? Like, what's going on? Whatever. And I see like a distant like farmer's house across the lake, like a beautiful house and field in the distance on the right. And then I'm like, yeah, and there's the lake, right? And there's like a it sort of looks like beachy, but I know it's not. It's Canadian beachy. It's like rocky and stuff. And I'm like, man, how do I get down there? Like, how do I? It's obviously going to be swampy. I'm just trying to like figure out the path to like get there. Um, yeah, and I took one wrong way and I took one right way, and then there's that like comical moment that you see in the Western movies, which happened to me just out of like a Western movie. You know when you like get your foot stuck in mud that's too deep and you're gonna lose your shoe? Totally
Hmm.
happened to me. Totally happened to me. Like a feeling of quicksand. The total exact situation. Right? And Lyric's just like loving life. She doesn't even care. She's light enough to not care. Right? But I am thoroughly stuck in mud. And one leg. Um what are you supposed to do, Chris, when you get stuck in mud?
Um, Try to not lose your footwear and come out slowly.
Close. I think there's one more better answer. But yeah, you're right, but there's one more better answer for sure.
Go on your hands and knees to distribute your weight.
Perfect. Exactly. Exactly. So I've run enough mud runs to know that because I'm a mud run expert, obviously here, right? Out of all of us. Um, yeah, I know that. I've lost a shoe at a mud run before. I'm like, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do here, and I'm just like, God damn it! But I got a backpack on and I got a camera bag on. Like I'm just like, fuck. Like I put down my backpack first and then my camera bag. Like
In the
slowly,
mud.
yeah, like gently placing it on the less muddiest part possible, right? And then yeah, you got to get hands and knees and get flat, and then you like kind of crawl your way out of there. And you know,
Did you keep your shoe?
no, I kept my shoe, kept my shoe. Okay, then I go to the lake, right? I, me and Lyric, have a nice little, cleaning lake session of like getting rid of all the mud on us, and um, but I left my bags in the back at the mud, obviously, because um, I didn't want to like. I just want to get out of there, and I was like, I can see them from the lake, so I had to go back and do that whole thing again. That was fun. It was good. It was a good trip. I got all the way back to my Jeep, a bunch of bug bites later, and had a fun
Why
little.
didn't you take your Jeep further in again?
Oh, dude, because I don't want to get my Jeep stuck. I assume if I go further in, I can tell there's a trail, but it looks a lot rougher. It looks like a advanced Jeep trail. It's like over like fallen bushes and stuff. It's like it looks like somebody has a winch and know how to like get themselves out of there. I don't want to do that, man. I went to where I felt comfortable, and I could tell there's like a 4x4 track right where I went to at the lake. Like somebody's done it, with a prepared vehicle, right? Um,
Right.
yeah. Um, okay, last final thing, which I thought was kind of fun. Um, Somebody left a handprint on my Jeep, a mud handprint, and left pallets on the exit for you to wipe off the mud off your shoes, which was awesome. Um, Very kind of them to both leave the pallets and um,
This happened
mark.
while you were away hiking,
Yeah,
so it was neat, fresh.
oh, fresh. Oh, it wasn't me. Literally a mud print on the back of my Jeep, like that perfect like handprint, which is a little freaky, but whatever, kind of fun. That's
I
my
know
story.
Jeep drivers also they leave ducks on each other's windshields.
Is that a
Has that
thing?
happened to you yet?
That has not happened to me yet, but people wave Jeep drivers, and
Yeah.
you did like the Jeep wave, right? It's very common. Everybody fucking waves. 80% of people wave, and it can be annoying, but it's also kind of nice. It's a nice feeling.
It's a nice subculture,
Yeah, it's a
I'd
nice
say.
subculture. Yeah. So that was my escape. I think nature sometimes you gotta just stop using your phone, go somewhere. I had internet at the lake, by the way. Like it's not like I'm off grid at all, but you know. I couldn't use my phone for the most part because I'm too muddy to use it, so that was nice. Um, but yeah,
Cool story, bro. Are you gonna finish up Stampede strong, or what's your game plan for the next couple days?
oh man, it's Friday. Oh, maybe simple plan on Sunday. I know one of my other friends from Vancouver is coming. to watch that, so we might go see that. Um,
Uh, the f-
that's
the fair is here in Dusseldorf right now,
ooh, tell us
and
more.
it's interesting because number one, free to go in. Like it's got like carnies and rides, but I think the way it works here is that every ride and every carny game is an independent business operator. So
Weird.
like the ride has its own cashier, so you don't have universal tickets, and then the rides
Oh,
have their own tickets. Like
cool.
the
Okay,
big
yep, yep.
rides have their own ticket cards that they give you, and then you just give them back and they like recycle it when
That sounds
so
way
when you buy
better.
it.
That sounds better
So
because
much better.
you
Because
get
then you
you
can,
get like an authentic experience with a ride operator who like runs that one thing.
yeah. And you, number one, of course, can just drink as you walk through the fair. And
Yep.
then two, you get the Stampede grounds experience without having to pay like 25 bucks to get just inside the fence. So I think I'll do that tomorrow. Oh, and
Nice.
then the other nice thing is the big like skyscraper ride.
Yep.
I did that last year and it was €8. So it's like 12 bucks.
That's pretty good. That's awesome. What does it look like? Is
Yeah,
it a big gigantic Ferris wheel? Is it the biggest like the
it's just
London one?
two. You know the one at Stampede that's two?
No, two. Oh yeah, two one. Yeah, I got it. Totally. Yeah, it's like $50. Yeah,
Yeah.
or it's probably more now. I bet.
So as soon
Nice.
as I saw that it was eight, I'm like, I'm fucking doing that because that's one fourth the cost of what it costs in Canada.
Nice. I've never done that
Maybe
thing.
it's
That
not
looks so
quite
cool.
as big, but it's pretty big.
So you've done it. You already did it, or you're doing it.
Yeah, I did. I went last year, uh,
Ah, so cool.
but I'll do it again this year. It's fun. That's where I won little boba tea there, Bobby the
Nice.
boba.
Oh, that's where we won Bobby the Boba. Ah, hi Bobby.
Yeah.
Um, I went to a Surge game. Did you know we have basketball in Calgary? Okay, this is crazy to me too. I'm like, we have a basketball team? What? The Calgary Surge is a basketball team, and they played at the Saddle Dome, and I went to go watch a game with Dave, and it was pretty cool. Um, it was kind of exciting. One thing I really liked was they changed how games end now. Um,
Oh,
like you know basketball way better than me, so I don't think I can be an expert here. But apparently, in the last 3 minutes of the game, instead of running the clock for 3 minutes, they add 10 points to the leading team score, and that's the finishing point to win. And that makes dynamics of the end of game much more exciting, I think.
huh. Is that just for this thing or
I don't know.
NBA?
This is not NBA, by the way. This is like,
Why?
the
Obviously, Calgary
tertiary
can
league of
support.
whatever garbage Calgary can play. But yeah,
No, sorry, I was just curious. They didn't do that in the NBA, did they? They just did
well, I
it
don't know if
for
they. I
whatever
don't
league
think so,
Canada
but
ran?
I think they did it for this league, and I think it makes it more exciting because people don't just waste the clock. They don't just run the clock out when you have a lead or whatever, because you
Oh,
have to score to finish, right? So even the winning team, the current leading team, has to still get buckets, and then the game ends on a slam dunk or something fun, right? Like it ends with a final point and everybody like cheers. It's a great way to finish off a game. Like they've made the game better. Um, right?
that's something I did not expect to learn today.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna circle this right back around to poker. Do you know what a bomb pot is?
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know what a bomb pot is. That's a new feature for poker as well that I think
It's just
makes
to
it more
loosen up.
exciting. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
loosen up the game, and I think that's what you need to do. You got to make it more enjoyable. I'm okay with revising games to make them more enjoyable. It's a great way to do it.
You can
You know,
also make it a double pot.
yeah, double bomb pot. Okay, we should say what a bomb pot is because you want to describe what a bomb pot is.
You go ahead.
Okay, I'll do it. When the dealer changes, which happens every like half an hour or something, 45 minutes, I don't know. Everybody has a choice of putting $10 in the middle, and if you do, you get your two cards. You cannot bet pre-flop, so you can't bet before the flop comes out. The flop comes out, but there's two flops. there's a flop A and a flop B, and then you're allowed to bet. So you can bet off after flop A and B for the turn and the river. But there's two turns and two rivers. And that means, you get this kind of like forced family pot in for whoever the gamblers are at the table, and that kind of identifies them as well. And two boards means you can like split or you can like do whatever.
Yeah.
But I like it because it makes it's anti-nit, right? Like the nit game of people being
I
really
didn't
tight.
think I didn't think playing the bomb pot was optional.
It's optional, from my understanding. Yeah.
Is it optional?
Yeah.
I only know it from watching the Lodge in Austin streams with
Oh,
Brad Owen.
you know what? Somebody
And
was sorry. Yeah, that's what they were saying as well. They were saying the 2-7 game. Wait, is that what it's called? The stand-up game? Is that from Lodge as well?
there's a stand-up game, which is everybody stands up, and then last one to win a pot has to pay everyone like $500 or pay someone $500.
Yep.
So then when there's down to two guys, these guys are trying to win pots because there's $500 of extra pot odds from not losing. And then there's the 2-7 game where if you win with 2-7, then everyone else at the table pays you $100.
Yep. 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 Totally. I like these variants. They make it more exciting. I think that's a good way to make the game more enjoyable.
I like I like the 2-7 game because it forces you to just pretend you have something else and then tell a story as if you have something else,
Yes, it does.
which
Yep.
is like helps your bluffing skills.
Totally. Yep.
But the bomb pots are just hilarious because I think that's just straight gambling, to be honest. But
Oh, it definitely is. Definitely straight gambling. Um, I honestly, this is my first time going to the casino, trying trying to gamble instead of winning. Like this is my like first time in 20 years going to the casino. I've never actually just tried to not win and have fun,
mm,
and that's weird. Actually, it's weird. I'd recommend you try it. Um,
I do have fun at the casino when I win. Winning is fun.
uh, but hey, I think that's the pod. I think, unless you have anything else you want to add.
Sounds good, buddy.
Yeah. All right.
All
See you
right.
later, everybody.